LSU. Boom!
All night long. Yes.
Let's freaking go. We are so close to when Jayden Daniels is crowned your next Heisman Trophy winner. I'm so freaking excited about our third LSU Heisman Trophy winner in the history of LSU football. I am also really excited that my dear beloved New Orleans Pelicans right now are going to take care of the Los Angeles Lakers. But this is why I love Jayden Daniels, because he has this thing called a heart. He knows when wrongs are wronged. He knows when things are awry. And look, a lot of you have made this point. I see Skipper in the chat. He's made this point before. I just want you to hear what he had to say about you know what.
It sucked knowing that, they put in all that work and obviously you weren't rewarded for it. And, we played down week one. So, obviously losing Jordan was a big deal for Florida State. And, I personally think, obviously they kind of did it just because of, rating and viewership and stuff like that. But, I think, that's a great football team there. Prayers out to Jordan and everything he's going through right now. Obviously, he's probably not in a good spot, having to, like I said, show all the blame and stuff like that. Obviously, he tweeted something, but, it's not his fault. Obviously, he can't control stuff like that. So, I'm praying for him and, Florida State get what they deserve at some point.
Heart of gold. Huh? He freaking told it like it is. He has nothing to gain by throwing out the truth. The truth. Nobody wants to watch backup quarterback Tate Rodemaker get torn up by Michigan. But I did, because Florida State deserved that opportunity. And what did Jayden Daniels do? He stepped up to the plate and talked about what was wrong. He saw his QB brethren get his leg snapped into two and felt the anguish in the heart of Jordan Travis when he has to bear the blame for Florida State not getting into the college football playoff. Jayden had nothing to gain, and that's who he is as a person. That is who he is as a person. Jayden always 10 toes down, smile as big as the Milky Way, and all he does is speak truth to power. I love Jayden Daniels. He could have given a very political answer. Well, Jordan Travis got hurt, but Alabama was also deserving. No. And that's why you should love Jayden Daniels, for telling it like it is. We say hi to Cody. Bo Nix pulled the fire alarm. I could expect it. Heck, Bo Nix could be the quarterback for the Steelers or Patriots next year. Goodness gracious. What the heck is that? But yeah, Jayden is just awesome. Awesome. I can't tell you how many times we get political answers from QBs when it comes to tough subjects such as that one. Okay? I love it. I love it when people say what's on their chest, even if they have something to lose. Right? So, look, Jayden had nothing to gain, and he said what he needed to say. But the bottom line is we are close to him winning the Heisman Trophy. You can listen to Ryan Leaf. You can listen to Danny Cannell. You can listen to whoever out there wants to speak ill will of college football's best quarterback, one of college football's all-time greatest statistical quarterback seasons. It's Jayden Daniels, and he will indeed win the Heisman Trophy. Okay? Now, we get to the next topic. And Cody, any topic you want to get to, we'll go straight to it. And I think Cody is a Steelers fan. He was like, F this. Not watching my team lose to the Patriots. I want to talk about the transfer portal. As I hinted last week, sources. Trevor Etienne is in the portal. You could go look at the title of last week's videos. It was leaning in this direction. Not much of an insider, but sometimes I give you good stuff. I would love him to be a part of our team. Now, I will say its blitz pickup this year hasn't been the absolute best, but we can work on that. I would love Trevor Etienne to be a part of this team. Now, it's not the biggest need. In fact, you can make a case that running back is one of the smaller needs that we need on this team with Caleb Jackson, Trey Holly, Caden Durham. I think Noah Cain might have another year of eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever the case may be, the LSU running back room, even though they have lost 2 players to the transfer portal, there are 2 players that combined to play 2 games this season. So I am open to Trevor Etienne. I really am. Okay. The next thing I would bring up here, we do have confirmation that Joe Sloan is recruiting quarterbacks out of the transfer portal. He had an in-home visit with MJ Morris, the dual threat quarterback at NC State. Now, that MJ Morris has officially been visited by Joe Sloan, I do want to include, and I want this to be very clear, okay? I have not watched a whole lot of him, but I will now, knowing that he is very much on our radar, okay? There are some later offers being dished out. Nitro Tuggle is the name of a high school receiver from the north that LSU is making a really strong push for. And keep in mind, we will have a video drop tomorrow morning, okay? It will drop. It just depends on when things actually happen, okay? We will see an LSU Tiger commit tomorrow. Gabriel Relaford is making his announcement. This is a guy who is from Evangel Christian. He is from, obviously, North Louisiana, and obviously he was committed to Texas A&M, and now he has a heavy lean towards LSU. Okay? So the truth is we're going to get a really nice defensive line prospect tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. Let's go to Danny Girl. Big-time starters in portal are playing the NIL game, and BK will not get in NIL wars over players. That is not his NIL philosophy thus far. Yeah, and that's the thing with Trevor Etienne at this point. Is he in there just to test the NIL waters? Obviously, the team that makes the most sense for him would be Clemson. That's where his brother played. That's where his brother is a legend. Clemson, I think Will Shipley is NFL eligible, so I think he goes to the NFL, or he might just be in year 3. Actually, he is just year 3. But, Trevor Etienne is a starter at Florida, or is he? He shares the work with Montrell Johnson, another Louisiana native at running back, and maybe he's just disappointed with how he's used, right? Maybe he wants to go somewhere where he gets a little bit more of a defined role. What I can tell you, though, is he is a really good football player, and he returns kicks if we need it. He also just is a good between the tackles runner with some receiving ability out of the backfield. Good pad level, and obviously he tore us up this year. Then again, who didn't tear us up this year? Okay. Now, as we always do on a glorious Thursday night live stream, well, we do this every live stream. Let's give out a pretty fun card right here. If we get to $100 tonight in Super Chats, bang, we're giving out this Logan Diggs refractor card. It's going to one of you if we as a team could get to the $100 Super Chat mark. So let's keep it moving here. No way do I want Trevor Etienne, says Cliff. We have enough running backs. Both he and his brother left the state and shunned LSU. Stay gone, bro. I don't know. I'm open. But then again, it comes down to what he wants, right? Maybe he is looking for more money. And he says, look, if I go to LSU, it's a little bit of a lateral move because, I'm an SEC running back at a Power 5 institution. Why am I going to LSU? I don't know what's going through his mind right now. What I can tell you, though, is that I'm interested. I'm interested. You might not be. Huh? A lot of you don't seem to be. But there you go. Now, next thing. When I look at the transfer portal, there are some guys that I love. Of course, we've done a lot of Xavier Thomas content over the last 48 hours. So I'll cool off on that, but I do feel pretty good about him committing to LSU. And the next thing, and I do feel this is very important to point out, is that with the college football transfer portal being the way that it is now, I am certainly open to pretty much anything at this point. I don't know if LSU players themselves are done entering the transfer portal. Up to this point, we have had 5 scholarship players, 6 in total, enter the portal. Actually, 7. Our 5th-string quarterback entered yesterday. So, yeah, I think at this point, and I guess he's our 4th string, but still, we've not lost anybody that is someone that we would consider to be a starter. So for me, and I really do mean this from the bottom of my heart, I am not sure if we have really had it that bad in the transfer portal anyway. We've not had any commits up to this point, but nobody has. We could be Texas A&M. We could be Ohio State. We could be NC State, where you've seen quite a few players enter the portal. We have not had any major contributor leave the team yet. Let's hope that continues. And I think it will. I think a lot of players see their situation, and they feel pretty good about where they are. Dion, thank you for the super chat. Dion, any topic you want to get to, we'll go straight to it. I am kind of shocked that so many of you are pushing back against Etienne. Welcome to the channel, Trappa J. We have a stable of backs with Durham on the way and Harlem Berry following him the next year. We are good at running back. Yeah, I like Harlem Berry, but, Etienne is a one-year thing. So, I get it. I totally get it. So a lot of you are fine with our running back room, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I am too, for the record. I am just open to a player of Etienne's ability jumping into this room, because keep in mind, our offense is going to need to be more run-based next year, in my estimation. Or at least I think they're going to attempt to be a little bit more run-based next year. Let's follow up here with Danny Girl on MJ Morris. She said she saw a report about MJ Morris getting an LSU visit. She says too much drama, similar to the Ricks family reporting not leaving and then turning around, sitting and leaving. Yeah, and that's what MJ Morris did. Now, I will say his situation's a little bit different because of the red shirt promise that he had with this coach. I'm open to MJ Morris. I am. Okay. Let's go to Dion Super Chat. He says, we need him, period, but we need another veteran quarterback. And I think MJ Morris would actually be the perfect veteran quarterback. Okay. I think for me, the good thing about him is he is younger than Garrett Nussmeier. So if he gets beat out and he is technically the top backup, well, he still has flexibility. He still has 3 years to play 3, and he should be a graduate by then. So you'll have as much transfer portal flexibility you could possibly have. So I'm open to MJ Morris. I'm open to just any veteran quarterback up to this point that has some kind of starter's experience. So there you go. Michael says, Michael with Justin Moore. I've interviewed Justin before. He is a hog, though. You got to be careful. The Etienne family does not like LSU. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then we won't get them. One thing I think could happen, and this would melt society if this happens. I would not be shocked if he went to Florida State. I really wouldn't be shocked. I think Trey Benson's probably NFL bound, and they need another feature back. And I could see it happen. I don't know if I would be thrilled by that. Welcome, Philip, on in. Everybody say hi to Philip. Welcome to the channel. He says, well, I'm not going to say what he says. I will say there is a quarterback from Boise State, Torian Green, I believe is his name. He wears number 10. I've watched a good bit of him. He is a filthy runner. Visited Arkansas. LSU is on his radar. Okay. Big dual threat option at quarterback. Okay. So let's go to Jared Super Chat. Jared, any topic you want to get to, we'll go straight to it. AP thinks ETN is going to Georgia. Okay. Let's keep going here with Danny Girl. I worry now. We have fans that are only wanting a JD5, just like they have been wanting a new Burrow. Only one dual threat now, giving us a chance. I agree with this as well. Like, the only retort I would have to this, Danny, is this will be the first time that Dimbrock in 6 years has not had a big dual threat quarterback, right? Like Desmond Ridder, of course, is a really good runner. Jayden, of course, is a special runner. Garrett Nussmeier just does not run. Okay. Now he's got some mobility. He's not just like quicksand back there, but he's not a scrambler. It's not really the zone read game's not really what he does. But I do agree. Garrett Nussmeier is a very talented thrower of the football. He knows the offense. And if he doesn't turn the football over, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think the big thing, as Cliff points out, is we're going to need some receivers to step up. I think all of us would feel a lot better about Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback if one of BTJ and Malik would be back next season. But that is not happening. Okay. So there you go. Let me see here. Let me see. Got a text from someone in the coaching industry about a hire that was just made in the state of Louisiana. And doesn't have to do with LSU, though. So I'll keep it with LSU. Yeah, I don't think Logan's going to come back. Josh coming back is going to be very interesting. Okay. I do think Josh has another year. All right, he was a 2019 guy. Walk on then. Then 2020 doesn't count. So 2021, 2022, 20. Yeah, he does have another year. So if Josh wants it, how many NFL teams want Josh Williams? Probably Not a lot. But he is a very good college back. And I do think he could be successful in the NFL. I really do think so, right? If Kyron Williams, a former Notre Dame back under Brian Kelly, very similar to Josh as well. Not the biggest, but knows all the positions, good receiver out of the backfield, not the absolute fastest. If he can succeed, I think Josh can succeed as well. But he's not going to have like a big NFL market. Does Josh say, look, let me run it back. Super senior season year. And then Trappa J. What's next for John Emery? I think John could have an extra year. Obviously, it comes down to how those missed seasons because of academics is accounted for. But yeah, I mean, there's still some other guys in this room that could that could make the next move. Okay. Oh, I got plenty of cards available, Dion. If we get to a hundo tonight, we'll give out this Logan Diggs. And in fact, Dion, I'll give it to you. Just stay tuned. I think we're going to get there. I feel pretty good. I will be on Off the Bench tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So be on the lookout for that. Crazy weekend. Now, we were going to start at 8:45 tonight. Moved it back to our normal time of 8:15. The basketball game I was going to call got postponed. So I got to start on my regular time. And I got a few texts. You guys were excited to see me call a basketball game. Well, two of you were. I'm sorry it didn't happen. But guess what? You got PHL at a regular time. But I'll post links when I do that. Okay. Nitro Tuggle, the wide receiver from the North, for an official visit. Apparently, there is some major steam for LSU there. Now, what makes this interesting, Justin, is there were some wide receivers that had some Texas A&M leans that were top 100 recruits that had some major LSU interests. And Nitro Tuggle is also a wide receiver, okay? So, for me, I'm open to bringing in another receiver, but at the same time, he is still a Georgia commit, and it's going to be hard to flip him. So this is his recruiting profile. I think a lot of you probably just heard of him for the first time. I honestly didn't know a whole lot about him before tonight. So this is recruiting profile: a 6'3", 185 wide receiver, a 4-star consensus top 100 recruit. Okay. From South Bend, Indiana. Very interesting. You would think he would go to Notre Dame, but no. So there you go. Yeah, Danny, I don't know who's all hosting it tomorrow, but they asked me to do it, and I will do it. I normally don't know who all's hosting. I normally do it with Mario, though. So it would be cool to be on with Jacob again, though. 6'3", top 100 guy. I see you, Kevin. I see you. Now, next topic I want to get into is the Brian Kelly recruiting situation. I'll tell you this. I don't know what's next for this roster and how it's going to be managed and how LSU feels about certain players on this roster. It is amazing, though, when you go through and you count the amount of scholarship players that are on a team, how few of these scholarship players actually play. Now, college football is very difficult. Okay. Um, college football is insanely difficult to play. Okay. Everybody's good. And not everybody is a Power 5 player, and you're just basically guessing when you're recruiting them who's going to be good and who's going to be not, and who's not going to be. Okay. I will tell you that if you just go through and count, there are so many players that have a scholarship, but they don't play. Like whether it's injury or whether it's them not panning out. So I still think there could be some thinning done because there's still some decisions to be made about who's going to stay and who's going to go. Okay. It's a very strange dynamic. When it comes to who wants to be a part of LSU and who doesn't, who really wants to be a part of a team, even if they're not a big time player. So understand that there still could be some players that leave. I will say, though, just from watching the portal the last couple of seasons, okay, there seems to be some extra staying power with LSU. Okay. We have gone through multiple seasons and there really haven't been a whole lot of just absolutely positively shocking transfers. Okay. Obviously, Elias Ricks, that didn't really shock anyone that followed that young man's career. Okay. Obviously, Jack Besh was a really good player, entered the portal, writing was on the wall with, his role in the offense. But for the most part, LSU's not had a whole lot of players enter the portal that were proven really good football players. Now, could that be they're getting compensated? Well, that could be. I don't know the inner workings of every NIL deal. But I do think a lot of players covet playing for LSU. I do feel like it's a little bit of a deeper thing, right? Something that just does not shock me at all, though, is there are a lot of LSU players that stay on the roster last year that I think was going to enter the portal because there really wasn't a way forward for them to play. And they still stuck it out through this season. Okay. And that lets me know that people really want to be here. Players really want to make this work. And, I'm not going to go through a list of all the players that before last season you could feel pretty comfortable that they weren't going to play, but they still decided to stay anyway. I'm not going to go through that because it's just, I think you guys know who that is. But it is interesting how many players want to make it work at LSU. Okay. Let's go to Sibley here. He says free agency with no rules in college ball is an overall joke. This is what people wanted. Now live with it. 1.5 market for an average QB on the market. I'm fine with the transfer portal being the way that it is now to a certain degree. There do need to be some kind of guardrails with how the transferring is done. Okay. But I got into this debate again with someone on Twitter. By the way, please follow me on Twitter at Power Hour LSU and at Carter the Power. Okay. It's the same handles on Instagram as well. I posted on Instagram for the first time in forever today. Okay. Y'all, we have got to move back the early signing period. I feel like if I have some type of platform, I need to keep bringing that up because it's creating it's chaos right now, right? There's so much going on. There's award ceremonies going on. There's the portal opening up. There's coaching changes happening. There's still high school recruiting happening. Late visit here, late visit there. it is a highway to where right now. Okay. And I think in turn that makes the portal even worse, right? Because now there's guys that have been committed for forever. And the early signing period's coming up. What if you get processed as a high school kid because a whole group of portal guys want to come? It's crazy. It's crazy. LSU has moved from a defensive team to an offensive team. Yeah, that's true. Good to see H-Town Creole. How much prep do I do to call these basketball games? A decent amount. Like I make like a little call sheet before each game, and I want to make sure I have the home team because it's on for this particular broadcast. It's for their network, right? The road teams have changes in rosters and jersey numbers. It gets crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I'll post a link and you guys can critique to see if I'm the next freaking Mike Breen or not. Okay. See, I want to make sure I welcome everybody in on the live stream. Don't forget, we are on iTunes, Spotify. Prefer you guys watch on YouTube, on the FaceBase as well. Reaper says if Diggs comes back, we won't take him. Won't take Etienne. I don't know about that. Cody met with Michael Jordan today. That is impressive. But no, to Cody's point, is Bo Nix going to pull the fire alarm at the Heisman Trophy? I don't know. He could delay it. Maybe he gets another Pac-12 championship game to choke. But he actually played fine, if I'm being real. Pegasus says, what's wrong with pay for play? What's wrong with making your worth? Now, I will bring up something that was brought up by the NCAA. Charlie Baker, the NCAA president, is opening up an idea of having basically a have and have-nots version of Division I sports where schools can pay half of their football roster a minimum of $30,000 a year to be on the roster. I think, according to his proposal, there's going to be other athletes that get that minimum amount. But $30,000 is a good chunk of money, right? To go along with the scholarship and all the other things that you get with being a Division I Power 5 athlete. I this got asked not too long ago, which is, why is it that these college athletes can't just accept what they have now, right? They get 5-star meals, private chefs, private tutors, free education, you get to play in front of hundreds of thousands of people, boost your brand, all that stuff. Why is it that they want more? Why do they want more? Because the thing is, when you get money, that money can help everyone. Okay. It's not so much just you, it's you're able to feed your family, right? And the next thing I would bring up is one thing that I think hurts the transfer portal is high school football recruiting. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the dopamine hit that you take from being a high school recruit to when you're on a roster is crazy, right? Like, there's such a massive drop off in your social media follows and all those things when you aren't being recruited, because everybody's looking for your services, right? You're getting followers from people all around the country, you're getting likes, shares, love from all around the country. And then when you sign, it just stops. It just stops, and unless you become a really good player at the Division I level, when you get back into the portal, guess what? You get more likes, shares, dopamine hits. You're getting recruited all over again, visits, all those things. It's wild, absolutely wild. And something else is when you, as a high school recruit, are able to take all these official visits, you begin to see that everybody's got good facilities. Like, everybody does. I mean, I think LSU is probably top 5. You could see 1,000 YouTube videos on people that get inside looks at the facilities and all that. I would say LSU's top 5, top 10. But a lot of schools have like absolutely crazy facility kind of things like that, right? So if you know that it's good at other places, why don't you go to the place that gives you all of that and then more money? Okay. A lot of athletes don't look at it through the lens of, well, I'm a starter here, and if I'm loyal here, my fans will love me forever. It's crazy. Okay. Let's go to Kevin. 30,000 to all athletes at a school, make and female on scholarship. Men and female, male and female on scholarship is a proposal. It would be 6 to 8 million per school. It also satisfy. Oh, I see. I thought it was just you had to pay some. I didn't know it was all. So does that include walk-ons? That's crazy. Okay. I'm down for Walter Nolan getting a bag. I'm down. But then again, I know a lot of you want to stay away from Texas A&M transfers. I get it. I really, really, really do. Now, next thing, and there's a lot that I want to get to tonight. All right. Tomorrow, we will see the commitment of Gabriel Rutherford, hopefully to LSU. If I'm not mistaken, he's still committing tomorrow morning. So excited about that. I am hard pressed to get really excited about anything LSU defense related, though, until we get to a point where we know who the coordinator is going to be next year. Okay. I just can't get there. Right. I get excited about every commitment. And I will be excited tomorrow when we get Gabriel's commitment, and it will be in the morning. But man, and be on the lookout. We'll do a video premiere. We have a video coming out for it. If he picks LSU, that is. So yeah, I mean, do I feel LSU is in a position where they'll have so much talent next year that Matt House will be better served to be successful? Then sure. But it's just hard for me to not know the direction of where we're going defensively. Dion, thank you so much for another super chat. I appreciate it. Any topic you want to get to? We'll go straight to it. Carla Cat wants to talk about Bryce Underwood. Okay. Will he stay home with Michigan or be at LSU? Once again, this is the great Thurman Thomas here with Carla Cat. I think he's picking LSU. I do. They already have a commitment for the class of 2025. I think he's going to pick us. And his commitment announcement is coming up here in a month. So there you go. Let's go to LD88. He says, Carter, if we really have a bad recession for the next few years, I think we've had like a gazillion recessions over the past like 10 years, and the money is tight, how might that affect paying athletes? Okay. One thing you'll learn, LD88, is when it comes to college football and when it comes to needing more money for the college football team to be successful, these very rich people, they'll find a way. They'll find a way. Okay. If the difference is, I don't know, selling off one more stock option to get a 5-star, there's going to be people that do it. Okay. But yeah, recessions do hit people differently. I will tell you this. Okay. And this isn't an LSU NIL person. It's not. But I'm very lucky to have lived in different parts of the country. I've never lived on the West Coast. So, I've been fortunate getting to do some national stuff. I want to get back to doing more national stuff. To know some of these people that do some NIL deals. And I spoke to one about 6 months ago, or it was within the last 6 months. And he does a lot of big NIL deals with a Power 5 university, not LSU, but he does a lot of them. And he told me, Carter, I'm not really seeing any ROI on this. And I was like, what? What do you mean by that? He's like, yeah, just not getting as many clients for paying what I'm paying these athletes. And I was like, well, don't do it. And he's like, well, the PR is good. We'll take it. So the truth is there's not as many businesses. Like, for instance, if Jayden Daniels tells you to go drink a Powerade, you're going to probably go drink a Powerade because he's Jayden Daniels. There's just not a whole lot of those kinds of supernova stars, right? Like Jayden's going to be doing a Cane's Chicken thing this weekend at 10 a.m. All right. I think he's doing it on Saturday. And guess what? He's Jayden Daniels. People are going to show up. He could be the quarterback of the Giants next year or the Jets. So they're going to show up. More likely the Giants for obvious reasons. So, there's those kinds of athletes. Obviously, there's more extreme examples than that, like Johnny Manziel, Tyrann Mathieu, guys that were huge, huge, huge stars. Okay. And those kinds of athletes exist. And more of those athletes have probably existed at LSU than anywhere else, right? Angel Reese, Livy Dunn, and they, of course, command higher premiums, but they move the needle, okay? But, I've seen some rotational defensive linemen get national NIL deals. I'm sorry, I just most people don't know who they are, right? So the reality is the NIL isn't, the name, image, and likeness of a player getting you into their business. It's you supplementing that player a salary for his services to help the team win games. Okay. Let's go to AP with a very interesting super chat. If Deion Sanders were coaching Florida State, would they get in? That is a very, very, very interesting super chat. And the answer is it would have helped them. It would have helped them. Okay. I understand this is going to turn into another Florida State debate. I started tonight's live stream with Jayden Daniels' thoughts on Florida State. And of course, Jayden is smarter than I'll ever be. And he said he thinks it was for ratings and viewership why Florida State got in over Alabama. I'm assuming he meant to say Florida State over Alabama. You just said it's the reason why Florida State didn't get in. If Deion were the coach of Florida State, even if they wanted to put Alabama in, there would have been far more public pressure to keep Florida State in if Deion was their coach. So, yeah, I'll go with yes. I will go with yes. But I will also say this, AP. As far as the variables when it comes to the hypotheticals with the college football playoff, there's too many, right? Like, for instance, and this not only becomes hypotheticals, this becomes conspiracies, right? Texas's chance of getting into the playoff drastically increased when Alabama beat Georgia. Now, why is that the case? Well, if Alabama, the SEC champion, were to get in, Texas beat them by 10 in their building, and they also only had one loss, and they won a Power 5 conference, and their only loss was a close one to Oklahoma, a 10-win team on a neutral field. So the argument for Texas to get in got stronger when Alabama got in, okay? So, yeah, I mean, there's all different types of thoughts and conspiracies and if this would have happened, if that would have happened. We'll honestly never know. But I will also tell you this from speaking to a few Florida State people I've gotten to know. They're ready to move on, okay? Because now it's getting ugly. They've had some players enter the portal. They have some players that are opting out of the bowl game versus Georgia. They get the unpopular politicians in Florida are now getting involved with this, and you know, it's gotten ugly. And honestly, a lot of Florida State fans are ready to move on. And think about if you're an LSU fan, right? Like when 1-9-12 happened, you were kind of just ready to move on. Whereas a lot of other fans are wondering, why did Alabama get in over Oklahoma State? How did Oklahoma State, who lost a game on a missed field goal that looked good, why? There was all kinds of conspiracies about Oklahoma State not getting in. But us LSU fans were like, yeah, but what happened, we're ready to move on. So a lot of Florida State fans are ready to move on. Well, it's a good question. It's a good question. Let's see here. I want to get to as many as I possibly can tonight because we won't be live until after Jayden wins Heisman. Okay. Yeah, I know TOV, he's ready for another Florida. I don't think TOV's, because TOV and I went back and forth quite a bit last night. It was fun, though. It was fun. Okay. Now, let's see. I wanted to get to me and Dickie V. I'm down. I'm down. But yes, please hit the like button, subscribe, share on Facebook. Getting a few extra Facebookers. Billy says, we have running backs. Let's check in on the poll question. Would Trevor Etienne instantly become LSU's RB1? 63% of you say yes, instantly. I don't know if instantly is the case because Caleb Jackson's really good. But There you go. Larry says he would. Now, coming up after this, one thing you need to know about the bowl game. PHL Nation. Oh, yeah, baby. You know about Louisiana Controls. They've been showing us love throughout this college football season, and I'm looking for you to do the same when it comes to your energy management commercial HVAC needs. It is all with our buddies who have been doing this for over 40 years. Yes, that is 4 decades. You know this Louisiana weather gets crazy. Go to louisianacontrols.com or call 225-924-4990, baby. Let's go. Let's freaking go. How much do we need to get to a hundo? I can give it a look. We are 70 away from the hundo for the Logan Diggs card. Etienne is going to Georgia. Everybody's picking Trevor Etienne going to Georgia. They have poached quite a few SEC East backs. Peggy's really well connected, so she's going Georgia. So we'll turn the page. Okay. Now, next thing. One thing to know about the bowl game. It is on New Year's Day, and it's early. Okay. That's one of the worst times to play a bowl game, right? Because it's an early game. You know, you got all these playoff games going around you, and there's just a lot going on. Okay. I am going to be very fascinated to see what Wisconsin puts out there. Normally, first-year coaches get a little bit more juice out of a team. Then let's say he was in year 2 and this was like his second 7-5 season. Okay. I think LSU is going to be motivated regardless. And this is why. There's too many players that have something to prove in the bowl game, right? Let's just say JAYDEN and Malik play. Well, Malik has got to get this record. Let's say they don't play. Then Garrett has got to show what he has to be the guy next year. Okay. The defense, they are all fighting for reps next year. Okay. There are a lot of Louisiana natives on this defense and want to prove that they actually can play. They've had a chance to fully decompress and get ready for the bowl game. Okay. You know, the truth here is we're in a good spot going up against Wisconsin. And I feel pretty good that even though it might not be a Purdue result, I feel like we're going to play well versus Wisconsin, which is a good change from our last 2 games versus Wisconsin, where we quite frankly didn't play well in neither of the games. Okay. Lance Hurd, all SEC freshman. Congrats to him. It is Heisman week, baby. It's a good time to celebrate Heisman week. Heisman week is always better when you have somebody in the running. Okay. Jared, this is the first season that they have done it. So, so for those that don't know, postseason play does not count against your redshirt eligibility. Okay. So 4 people, all right, 4 games. Okay. 4 games. Once you hit that 4-game mark, you can't play any other regular season game, but you can play a conference championship game. You could play a playoff game. You could play a bowl game. Okay. So that's why with someone like Jackson Howard, they waited until the Texas A&M game to play him again. He was able to retain his red shirt, and now they're going to give him some reps in the bowl game to see what he has. Okay. So the truth is, in this bowl game, you're going to have a lot of people out there playing, and they're going to be in a spot where they don't have to worry about the redshirt rule. They don't have to worry about they don't have to worry about anything. No. You can only play 4 games. Okay. You can only play 4. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So next season, a player could play 8 games and still redshirt. Yes. So you actually could this year. All right. You could play your 4 regular season games, and you could play the conference championship game and 3 playoff games. Okay. So yeah, you could. That's some pretty creative stuff. Now, while we're on this topic, this was one I was potentially going to save for this next weekend, but we might as well just keep it on the same train of thought. I will say that along with the transfer portal, we are going to look at this era of college athletics very differently. Okay. Because we have all these guys that have 7 and 8 year eligibility plans, right? Like, I saw the Texas Tech quarterback Tyler Shaw will be a year 8 player next year. He's 25 years old. And I don't remember where he transferred to. Let me get this correct. He transferred to Louisville. Okay. So a red and black school to another red and black school. I don't know how I feel about that. Because, of course, the COVID year doesn't count. And, you got a lot of year 7, year 8 kind of guys. Okay. If you were in my position, how would you feel about that? If you were sitting right here talking to, all the people I get to talk to on here, how would you feel? I mean, he's eligible to rent a limo. And I've never understood why you have to be 25 years of age to rent a limo. Like, I didn't think the age requirements would go 16 to drive, 18 to get into bars and smoke cigs, 21 to drink, and 25 to rent a limo? What? Huh? What? Rent a limo? I've never understood that. Yeah, Carvers, what is the Pelican score? Please let me know. I'm trying to stay focused on here, but I'm really excited about my Pels making a push in the in-season tournament. Oh, it's close. 53-50. I'm so mad at myself. I had to start Kenny Pickett. Last week in fantasy. I forgot to take him out for Lamar Jackson, and I'm in a huge playoff game, so I'm just getting a 0 in fantasy. Oh, it's 21 for the backy? So what is 18? What do you get to do at 18 now? Yeah, you're legally an adult, I guess, at 18. But you get into bars. 21. Yeah, 18 vote. Brady Cook won SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Go to war. Yeah. 17 to go fight for your country. Imagine going fighting in a country and then you get back and you just want to rent a limo. Oh. No, can't. That's a bridge too far. A limo. It's just that's crazy. crazy. Now, type Y for yes. Type N for no. All right. And I want you to answer this from the bottom of your soul. Wait, it's not even a car at 25? Really? Wait, is that real? Anyway, type Y for yes, type N for no. You feel comfortable with Ricky Collins being the top backup quarterback for LSU next season. Type Y for yes, type N for no. You feel comfortable with Ricky Collins being the top backup? It's crazy. So David says no. What's he say no? Yeah, it's true. You know, and this is obviously just not really all that important. But I will say, Ricky was very much in the That Kid Jayden documentary, right? He was very much in the whole thing. Okay. And not the whole thing, but he was in there quite a bit. Okay, at the 5 a.m. meetings, he was there at the Jaden Heisman announcement, sitting right next to him. That man needs to go start a family. Yeah, if you're 25, yes. Cliff feels good about Ricky. Let me see. That's a good point right here. Off the corner. I love some soccer chat. Everybody, welcome Off the Corner to the chat. VR technology really helped Jayden. It did. And, you know, you do begin to ask the question is how much does that help him? You know, that was brought up quite a bit from, you know, people I speak to at the program, people you hear talk about it on the broadcast. I mean, you know, the thing about that kind of like technology is just you're just getting all those extra kind of game reps. And I understand it's like game reps, you're not actually getting hit, but it does give you like the same kind of like depth perception of you actually being in the game. And look, that's a good thing to sell in recruiting too. Do they have one of those things at NC State? I don't know if they do. Okay. So I can go to MJ Morris, his apartment complex, and say, hey, look, MJ, you ain't got what we got. One other thing I would do if I was Joe Sloan, is not only talk about like how good Jayden was this season, but show that two quarterbacks made leaps, right? I think that's actually a little bit of an easier thing to recruit than like Caleb Williams being good, because Caleb Williams was just good. He was good at two different schools, right? You could point out, hey, there was two different quarterbacks who came in as transfers and took massive leaps. And we have the technology, we have the coaching, we have the framework, we have the receivers. We have what you need to make that leap. You might not get that at NC State. Okay. So it's amazing what that can do for you. Okay. Follow up here. It's made by a German company. LSU sent them plays and they replicated them, and LSU sped them up faster than game speed. And that's something else is you can, calibrate probably that VR technology to whatever kind of setting you want, right? There's always so much like scout team things you can do, right? But with virtual, there's like endless possibilities you could do. So I'm sure that probably helped Jayden out quite a bit. And as someone who watches a good bit of film, and I've watched pretty much every throw that Jayden has made 3 times over, at least 3 times over, I can assure you this leap wasn't lucky, right? He put in a lot of work, but it was still a pretty magical leap. There were times last year where Jayden just missed some things, and I was like, wow, that's just crazy. You just wouldn't think that he would miss just some of the deeper throws that he would miss. And I was like, okay. And it might just be, his ceiling. But I just kept saying to myself, if he just makes those throws, it's over for college football. And I thought he was going to take a leap. I just would have never thought that it would be best deep ball thrower in college football by a country mile, a historically good deep ball thrower. And that just doesn't happen. Like, of course, you need some magic and some hope that they make that type of leap. But Jayden put in the work. Throwing motion got better. You didn't see as many wobblers. Decisiveness got better. Trusting the guys got better. Listening to Malik and saying when Malik was telling him, hey, just throw it. Just chunk that thing. And I go back to what I've said. There are other great college football quarterbacks that are out there. But there's never been a quarterback who truly makes you cover every single blade of grass like Jayden Daniels. It's every inch, angle, molecule. It doesn't matter. He's going to find the space, and he's either going to throw it into that space or you're going to run through that space. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, one thing we also learned is, and this was via an interview with Jacques Doucet, Jimmy Burrow did tell Jacques that Joe will not be at the Heisman ceremony. Obviously, I got a Joe Burrow Heisman shirt up back here. I wish he could have been there. Obviously, he's busy with the NFL stuff, but it's going to be so cool to have 2 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks in a decade, because that was always the thing in LSU. What do we got quarterback play? It's here. It's here. Let's see. Jayden did get the Johnny Unitas Award. That is pretty cool. That is pretty freaking cool. LSU catching up to Lincoln Riley when it comes to Heisman winners. And that's true. Yeah, Peggy, it sucks, but, you know, when you're in the season, it's kind of tough. Carver says Jayden goes number 1 in the NFL draft. I'm down. I'm down with that. But, Peggy, you never know. I don't think anyone a gazillion % knew Joe was going to Omaha last year, but he did. So, you never know with Joe. I'm going to put it out there that he's going to be there. No insight. I think he's going to be there. And like Joe Burrow, he got the Johnny Unitas Award tonight. Oh, so that I didn't see this. I didn't see the fire alarm. That's what Cody was referencing. No, I didn't see the fire alarm thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Oh man, I've got to pull this up now. I'm glad. I was trying to figure out what Cody was referencing a little bit earlier. Oh man, that is so funny. That is so funny. Let me see. I guess there's not video of it, just on Twitter. That is so freaking hilarious. Huh? Oh God, that's so funny. I'm trying to find it. That's crazy. Congrats. I'll just put this up. Is Ja'Cory Brooks a receiver from Alabama? That's a cool photo right there. That's awesome. That's funny. 2 Heisman winners and no defense? Are we Oklahoma? Oh God, that's so funny. That's pretty good. Oh man. I kind of want to read that. I wish I had like an AI voice or I could read that in Dangerfield and read that in Dangerfield's tone. 2 Heisman winners. Oh, that is so funny. Oh man. Off the corner, was it really that good? I swear I did not know the fire alarm thing. Oh man, that's so good. That's so good. What are we? That is so funny. Oh my goodness, that is so good. I've gotten a few Manny Diaz questions. I saw one flash earlier, and we're kind of middle of like an LSU topic. So yeah, they Manny Diaz, the former Mississippi State, DC. Man, he's had a lot of stops. I mean, he was a DC at Penn State, DC at Miami, or head coach of Miami. I don't know. There's just so many. And he's now the head coach at Duke. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know. I guess Elko was good at Duke, and they wanted to hire another defensive guy. And obviously, Manny Diaz is very experienced. I don't know. I really don't know. I am interested to see what is going to happen with the ACC, right? How do you feel as a conference if you're the ACC? Here, you had a team going up for the college football playoff that was actively before the season trying to get the heck out of Dodge. You tell me. You know, it was here's another transfer portal thought that I'm struggling with. Okay. One thing I'm really struggling with the portal is there are so many good players going into the transfer portal, like actual good football players. But there's also a bunch of players that aren't good that are going into the portal. Okay. And I feel like the transfer portal should be a better vehicle for players that are not good, if that makes sense, right? Because if you're good, you're getting the dream, right? You're already a starter. You're going into the portal because you want to get more money, or you want to go just somewhere else just for the sake of it, or if you like NFL draft positions better for you somewhere else. All the power to you. But the thing that makes things really difficult for me is like, I don't follow a whole lot of athletes on social media. I just don't. You do with your algorithm, though. You see like big statements an athlete will make or whatever. One thing that does pop up quite a bit are screen recorded practice clips. So for those that don't know what that means, it's you could do a screen recording on your phone, right? So with their practice clips, they'll pull it up on their phone, screen record it, and that's their film, right? They'll post that film out and they'll be like, hey, I'm so-and-so with 4 or 5 years of eligibility left, or 3 or 2 years. At least it's something, you're putting something out there. But at the same time, it's not like if I'm a coach, I'm not jumping for joy to see your practice clip footage where you're wearing like different jersey numbers because you're on scout team. So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy when you see that, because kids are just trying their hardest to get whatever they can out there. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to answer as many questions as we possibly can. I feel like I've gotten to pretty much everything I wanted to get to tonight. I was going to talk a little bit about Ahmad Bro, but we'll say that for Sunday. But in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we'll answer as many questions as we possibly can. But if you super chat, we'll keep it going. I am still young and spry, but I do have to get up early to do radio in the morning. Congrats to Southern Lab winning a state championship tonight in football. Chad Jones's son made a big play, had a huge sack. Here's one for you, Dundee. Jordan Gilbert is someone I'm very interested in. Heisman is not until Saturday, but we will have a video tomorrow morning with the defensive lineman that will be committing. But yes, we will be chatting in the Discord during the Heisman Trophy presentation. There will not be a live stream now. Okay. Coach was like, go. I don't know which coach you're referencing. Is Ohio State going to have a team for a bowl? Yeah, they don't have enough. But I get what you're saying, man, dude. There's a lot of players. Chad Jones has a son in high school. We're old. Thanks for the super chat, Grant. Yeah, his son can play. We actually did a short on his son earlier this year. You could find it on the YouTube, on the Power LSU YouTube short page. Yeah, that's insane, absolutely insane. But it looked pretty good on that blitz. He was unblocked, but it was still pretty good play. Okay. There you go. This is via Louisiana versus all y'all. That's fun. Huh? Shane wants to know, how far are we out from a hundo? We are 55 away. But if we can't get there, it's okay. It's life, man. But, the Ohio State video. Ooh, Lakers up by 13 on my Pels. Ugh, I might want to stay on here. Huh? Honestly, I always go back and watch YouTube highlights anyway. But it's a big game. It's a semifinal of the in-season tournament. I was able to go to an in-season tournament game earlier this year versus Denver about a month ago. The hit 2.0. That's true. Chad had a lot of them, though. Shane wants a Malik card. I got you, man. Let's see. You can also Venmo it as well. Venmo is always preferred. Let's see. I think I got another. Yeah, I do have another Malik in here. There we go. That goes to you, man. I'm going to have to sleeve it up for you. Actually, I'll clean it for you. It is at Carter the Power. And Shane, you get to pick the next topic. Go right on ahead. And this is also my Twitter, Instagram. I normally go by this handle everywhere. There's not many powerful Carters out there. So I knew no one else would be Carter the Power. Now, there are a lot of powerful Carters. Of course, the most powerful is Nick Carter. And I know what you're going to say. Tell me why. Because Nick Carter was a man. That's why. Now you got Sean Carter. You got Vince Carter. You got Carter Buford. Where are my Dave Matthews fans? You got Jimmy. You got a president. You got what are some other Carters? The crazy thing about it, y'all want to know the craziest thing about my name is thank you so much. I appreciate it, Cliff. So there's another there's another Carter Bryant out there. Okay. And that Carter Bryant is known for like baby dolls, right? It's crazy. I think he started a baby doll line. Okay. And I still, it's not happened in a while, but for a while I did get a lot of like random like Instagram, Facebook messages. Will you please bring your line of dolls back? There you go, Shane. Shane got us there. Appreciate you, man. It's crazy. So like they would be like, hey, we want more. We want you to bring back we need you to bring back a new baby doll line. Okay. Like, it's crazy. It's nuts to me. Or it was like a toy line or something. Yes, Carter. It was like Bratz was the name of it. And I still get messages, people thinking that's me. And I was like, not me. That is true. I saw that. His now his son, the young man's mother was a Golden Girl. So we're talking LSU royalty. Okay. Yeah, so the kid goes to Evangel, and obviously his teammate is committing tomorrow. There are a lot of wide receivers getting offers this close to signing period. It is it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, Shane, any topic? And Shane, shoot me an email, powerhourlsu@gmail.com, and I'll get your Malik card out in the morning. Okay. Josh Booty. Josh Booty is also a PHL guest. Remember, he joined us at that chaotic SEC championship game. And he also rocks the PHL bands. Josh Booty is also a PHLer. Nice guy. That's crazy. So I got to send out 2 cards. We're going to give out an elite card. And make sure I'm getting this name correctly. Dion, if you're watching, we got a Logan Diggs card for you, man. Thanks to Shane, because he got us to a hundo. So Shane gets an elite card, and Dion gets a Logan Diggs card. Congratulations to both of our winners tonight. We also got a General Booty. We got an Abram Booty. We got a Booty rocking everywhere. Booty. How about Deion Sanders getting a 5-star offensive lineman today? That's crazy. Cliff Nelson, Catholic High card. Well, let me know, man. I'll get that thing graded. But yeah, Shane, any topic you want to get to, just make sure you send me that email so I can send you your card. Cardofthepower@gmail.com. There you go. Etienne, according to everyone in here, they feel that he is going to go to Georgia. So, all the power to him. Jordan Gilbert, I feel very good about it. It's just going to come down to how much both parties really want each other. Like Jordan Gilbert, LSU made a really strong push for him, but it was a little bit later in his recruiting process, and he picked Texas A&M. Turned out to be a pretty solid defensive player for them. He's not, spectacular. He didn't really play a whole lot in the game versus us. I don't think he played really at all. I could be mistaken. It feels like that game was like a million years ago. I did get excited, though, Shane, when I saw Bryce Anderson, the starting safety for Texas A&M, was in the portal, but his Twitter got hacked. He wasn't in the portal. That's a guy who was committed to LSU And I think he is very underrated. I have a tweet saying he was underrated before the season even began. He is a very, very good football player. And there's plenty of safeties that I am interested in, even if they are 1-year rentals. I'm interested in Jalen Catalon, right? Here's a guy who has had a ridiculous amount of injuries. But when he was healthy at Arkansas, he was the best safety in the SEC. And at Texas this year, he was starting on a college football playoff team, got hurt again. I am open to it, though, because the dude is a freaking stud. So, you know, I'm open to any safety at this point. Okay. Joseph, you talk to me, man. Okay. Joseph feels like something is up about us pushing for a lot of late 2024 wide receivers. Pooh Bear, what's good? Big week for you, man. Big next couple of weeks for you. Keep them coming, baby. Keep them coming. And you get an offer, and you get an offer, and you get an offer. Oh, man. What a world. Oh, you have a Jayden Heisman ticket? I love it. I love it. Danny, I could see it. Simper, how many of you had Jayden for Heisman tickets? Let's go. What's funny was, like, I never liked to bet like a top 5 person for Heisman, and Jayden was number 2 for Heisman. So my 3 best Heisman plays were Bo Nix, Harold Perkins, and Brock Bowers. Those are my 3 Heisman plays before the season. Okay. And there's plenty more. There's a lot of really good players. Only put 10 on Jayden for Heisman. It was plus 1,200. So what that means, you're about to win $120. Did I get that right? Yeah. About to win $120. Congrats, Ian. That's big time. Oh, Jared. Here's Danny. I do not bet on sports, thankfully. She said she has an addictive personality, so I know I'd get in trouble with that. Sports betting can get very addicting. Okay. I'm not gonna say I'm some kind of guru or whatever. I'm very lucky to have been in the green for 2 consecutive seasons. Okay. I will tell you though, after starting really hot this year, I have cooled off in a major way. Cooled off. So that's all there is to it. You know, I'm lucky to understand fully what the business is. I will also tell you this, right? You've really, really, really got to understand how difficult it is to win when it comes to anything sports related. It's hard to just win like actual sports. And now you're trying to predict it. You're trying to predict how things are going to work. And the thing people get wrong about sports betting is you're not betting against the house. You're also betting against other people. That's how lines are made, right? And you're always going to lose that little bit of juice every single time you place a wager. I remember getting into some random Facebook group, some random betting Facebook group, had 50,000 people in it. All right. And I was shook by how many people were saying, "Hey, share your 12-leg parlay so I can tell." I'm like, this is insane. Absolutely insane. Just because you like sports doesn't mean you know how it's going to work out. Okay, it's hard. Really, really, really hard. Okay. Yeah, I do think we need to move on, Shane. Jason says, "I'd like to see LSU get one receiver out of the portal and the rest be on the defensive side of the football." I wouldn't be shocked that they take two. I feel pretty good about Xavion at this point. Okay. "50 to 60% is a guru. 70% rarely happens." It's true. The shirt behind me, it says Burrow. It's a cool little shirt. So you think Diaco is going to be the guy? I think 3 of the 5 will be back next year. I do. But I could see all 5 coming back. I could. I think Josh Williams is going to be one of the more interesting ones. I really do think so. You got some edits lined up. Let's go. Nothing like edit season. Now we're going to do it again. Please, Shane, don't forget to send me an email. And Dion, if you're still watching, please, so I can ship your cards out tomorrow. Life gets crazy back here. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'll answer as many questions as we possibly can. But if you super chat, we'll keep it going. It's edit season. Oh. I just checked the Pelican score. Oh. Why, dude? Why? 90-62. 90-62. Let's go to Jason. Will Campbell has been getting zero love from voters for All-Americans. Yeah, Jason, that's a little shocking to me. For the most part, I've seen him on most All SEC teams. I think he's been on every All SEC first team. But yeah, it's a little shocking. A little shocking. If he doesn't get it this year, he'll get it next year. It's crazy. Oh, man, let me see. I don't think the AP has done their All-American team just yet. Okay. Let's see. A pretty good year for offensive linemen, though. I mean, yeah, Will Campbell didn't make first, second, or third team on CBS. Jaden Malik made first team CBS. I think Jaden Malik will make first team pretty much everything. It's crazy. I don't think they're assuming all of them are going to take those offers, though. Normally, that's what's going on. All right. But yeah, Jason, Will Campbell not on the CBS All-American. Let me check another one. I've not really looked at All-American teams other than, Jaden Malik being first team on almost everything. Let's see. Yeah, Malik and Jaden on Bleacher Report. Jaden Malik on PFF. PFF did not have Marvin Harrison. Oh, no, they did. Interesting. LSU's got a number 7. Chance wants to talk some Saints. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, Jason, I don't know why Will's not getting more All-American love. I don't know. I saw Emory Jones get all SEC second team. Emory had a really good season for us this year, even though he missed a few games there in the middle because of injuries. I think he only ended up missing like one game. I just realized. Yeah, so whenever you're watching the stream, it is always important to click the live button to keep the stream moving, right? So you can stay live. Okay. Now we are reaching the end. I'll take a few more though. If you super chat, we'll keep going. Okay. Dude, I, it is amazing how one-sided some fans could be on social media. Like, Etienne's mom went on Twitter and said, "We made the best decision for the Etienne family. That's it, and that's all. Hashtag God bless." And there's all these Florida State fans that say, that are, they know what they're doing. They're saying, it is so, dude. It's, I would hate to be a Florida Gator fan right now. You don't have it bad as a Florida Gator fan. You've won multiple national championships. Okay, in the last few decades, there are a lot of teams that can barely reach a conference championship game. But it is amazing how bad it is to be a Florida fan, because they might not ever be elite again. Like I would venture off to think that they would at some point, but they might not ever get elite again. Okay. They might not. It is so hilarious. Huh? 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 Oh man, that's crazy. All right, what's up, Pressure? Good to see you, man. Oh man, that's funny. LeBron's trying to do something Jordan's never done. Leave Vegas 500K richer. That's funny. Shane follows up here on Facebook. What is my grade on Brian Kelly after 2 seasons? I think B is perfect. All right, I think obviously B to B plus is really, really good. So you think Florida is really, really close to being elite again? Here's Rowie coming in. The Pelicans play tonight. Pegasus, did you come up with this yourself? That's good. That is really good. Yeah, that's true, American Patriot. What was it exactly? Was it just some trash talk that just got very heavy? I don't know. That's funny. That's really, really, really funny. Huh? Our Pooh Bear's about to start up a live. Okay. Oh. Florida is 2 more in-state losses away. That's funny. That's really, really, really funny. All right, y'all. I will see you in the morning. We will have a video dropping after the recruiting announcement of the young man from Evangel. Should be a lot of fun. Gabriel Relaford. Okay. That'll be tomorrow morning. Okay. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. And tonight we are doing chicken quesadillas. Let's go.